Stugotz, I want to ask you about a person in sports who's going to engender very little sympathy, very little compassion. The last few years of this person's public life have seemed to be a real disintegration. Antonio Brown went from the best receiver in football to somebody who took a hit in a game that years from now, when we go through science, we're going to be able to pinpoint, oh, that's what exacerbated CTE.
Right.
His public meltdown has been something that seems like it could be tied to football fairly easily and fairly overtly, to not excuse any of what it is that he's done. But we're going to know more about it in years. And today he declared for bankruptcy, or yesterday he declared for bankruptcy, and it actually hurt me on his behalf because of what life's going to be now when you've grown used to having all of the money and power in the world, and now you enter a phase of your life where you're not going to be able to recoup that anywhere, and your reputation is in tatters, and you don't seem mentally stable in any way. And I don't think there's going to be very much compassion for Antonio Brown, but having known that his story began in Miami, homeless, and this is not a place to not have a home. His journey to the top of sports was fairly amazing to watch because it didn't come through the big schools and it didn't come with a lot of support. So he got to adulthood and fame and money at a time he couldn't handle it. And I don't want to make him a victim here, because the stuff that he's done is really bad. It's not just publicly embarrassing. It's stuff that has hurt people. And yet I found myself feeling bad for him when I saw the declaration of bankruptcy, because I'm like, he's not going to be able to get his finances in order the rest of his life in a way that allow him to fix the fact that all of it's been thrown away.
He made $88 million during his career, and he's filing for bankruptcy. I do feel bad for Antonio Brown because it's the unknown that you feel bad about. It's what did football do to Antonio Brown? How did it impact his life, his career, all the crazy things he's done over the last few years? You do wonder, I'm not excusing it, but you're left to wonder how football impacts that.
It's a long list of things. Perhaps you could get us that list of things, because I don't want to skate past what has been some very bad behavior that's going to make most of the people listening to this, I don't think it's the minority, I think it's going to be most of them, don't care, threw it all away, moron, another guy who had all of the things I dream about having and couldn't figure out a way to handle it. I'm guessing that he engenders very little in the way of compassion.
If I had the opportunity to play in the NFL, I do this all the time. I'm guilty of it as well, but this is what fans do. And I made $88 million. I would never squander that opportunity. But you don't know, because you don't know what football does to your body and your brain.
Yeah, I feel bad for Antonio Brown as well. But when you mentioned $88 million in career earnings, that is the reason why he'll get no sympathy from most people. I worry about his mental health. I worry about what he might be driven to do next. But I also think in this day and age that the fact that he's controversial, the fact that he's had all of these episodes, there's a lot of podcasts out there who are going to say, Antonio,
I don't think he's
you want to come on?
Greg, do you want to come on is one thing. Pay you to come on? Make it profitable? No. Exploit you? Sure. He doesn't have a career in front of him. He does not have a media career being controversial. He's tried the music career. He's been on, he's done some work with It Is What It Is, right? Like that Cameron and Mace have had him on fairly regularly.
He could have had a media career. He decided not to. Probably
that day's over, though.
That day's over
whatever
for him,
that,
I think, yes.
And so I ask the audience this question because there are so many people in his rearview mirror who are actual victims. So I understand why anything that sounds like we're espousing victimhood for him might land wrong, because people don't want to see the humanity in that sport when it gets damaged that way and have to reconcile with what it is that we're doing on Sundays, where Vontaze Burfict took pride in doing that.
Yeah.
That's something at the time. Vontaze Burfict.
In his defense, a lot of guys do, Dan. Like,
well, but yes,
right.
Agreed. But more than most, Burfict was saying, I hate the Steelers, and that's what I was trying to do. I was not following the rules, don't care about your safety. Vontaze Burfict has publicly said, that is something I was trying to administer. It's something I'm proud to have administered. And within the context of that environment, I ask you, what does football do to these people?
I think why it's hard to feel for my dog is because it's on top of the heinous crimes he was accused of and the child support and all the stuff that he's been locked up for, throwing rocks and all the stuff. His regular internet personality right now is still attacking everybody. So-and-so bleep of the day. You know what I mean? It's like he's still antagonizing Tom Brady, posting pictures of Giselle. At a certain point, you wear out your welcome with us. Like you can do your thing, but when it comes to sympathy, I'm pretty sure ain't nobody got no sympathy for me if I do all that.
All right, well,
it's hard to have it.
Let me ask you guys this question then. Just out of curiosity, since DeMar DeRozan and Kevin Love brought it to everybody, they brought it to a predominantly male audience and brought a conversation that men don't talk about to a male audience. When we talk about Ray Rice or Diddy and we say, well, what do you think domestic abuse looked like? You've been reading about it for years. What do you think mental illness looks like? Like, what are the things I have to put in front of you for you to say, oh, Antonio Brown, there's a lot of stuff there. I don't want to say that everyone who is mentally ill is this kind of mentally ill, but what do I have to put in front of you for you guys? Like, I'll give you my personal example. I didn't know when I was in it. It was 20 years ago. Ricky Williams retires. He's living in a tent in Australia. I didn't know. I didn't understand that what was happening there was, okay, that must be something happened there that I don't have knowledge and information about, even though I'm really close to it. I had it happen with my brother, Stugotz.
Right.
My brother.
Yeah.
Toward the end of his life, my brother, who I love and I know, we were dealing with spiraling stuff that I didn't recognize. And it's in my brother's body. And so I'm ill-equipped. I'm like, well, what is this? I love this person. I don't recognize this person. What is this? Where does the sickness start and the asshole begins? Like, because my brother had some arrogant streak. So, and I don't recognize it. So I ask you guys innocently, don't make it Antonio Brown. Give me an example from now in sports. What do you think it looks like when people are talking about the despair at the bottom of the well? Because if I had to nominate somebody from sports right now on exhibiting the behavior that seems out of control and extreme and not just athlete stereotype immaturity or athlete stereotype recklessness, that there might be something else in play, I just ask you again and again, what do you think it looks like?
I think it looks like Antonio Brown. I don't think you go from $88 million to bankruptcy unless your life is full of terrible decision-making. And I don't know whether it's CTE or not. You don't associate CTE typically with the wide receiver position, but it well could be. But some sort of a mental illness has to be involved here. It just has to be.
Jason Kelsey says he can virtually guarantee us he has CTE. He's going into his next phase of his career saying he can virtually guarantee that he himself has CTE.
But I think the NFL, the collisions, they impact everyone differently. So you're right about Jason Kelsey. He has said that. But Billy and I spend, 20, 30 minutes every week with Mike Golick on God Bless Football, and he said that football did not impact his health, mental or physical. Yes, he has a limp. Yes, there are things, but Mike Golick looks great and feels great. And so I think everyone's kind of different in terms of how football impacts them.
I think it comes to genetics. Like last summer, we looked at a brother from the Charlotte Hornets, Kai Jones. His streak of activity seemed as though something was wrong, but then he got the proper help, and he accredits the NBA PA for giving him the help he needs. So I think when it comes to mental health, it's the genetics, and it's so many different chemicals that go to who you are and your biology that it's kind of tough to detect in some people.
I should say off the top end here, because I really don't want to turn this into Antonio Brown as victim. The domestic assault allegations and the sexual assault allegations against him are serious ones. I'm talking about now he goes bankrupt, and the life, you have seen whatever it was that was gained financially from football. The report, the news is that has now been squandered. And I'm saying once all of that arrives, his life as he knew it is now over, and the consequences that are coming for all of those actions are about to bury him. He will never get to live the life that he used to live. That has been squandered.
Do we know that, though? Because, like, Mike Tyson declared bankruptcy.
That's
50
what I'm about to say,
Cent
50
declared
Cent. That's what I'm
bankruptcy.
saying.
Burt Reynolds declared bankruptcy. Like, Donald Trump declared bankruptcy. There's plenty of celebrities who have declared bankruptcy
Right,
and
just to get the
seemingly
folks out their
haven't
ass.
changed their lifestyle in any way whatsoever.
Right, it's a new season of power coming up. You would never walk up to 50 Cent right now and say you can't do what you used to do. You wouldn't call that man broke. 50 claimed bankruptcy like years and years ago. So I feel like this may be just something that is necessary for whatever financial he's trying to stay out of.
I agree that I don't think bankruptcy ends one's hope and future. And I'm sort of surprised to hear you say that in the content age that Antonio Brown cannot be redeemed.
He's
he
not
cannot
employable.
be rehabilitated.
He's not employed. The crimes are too serious. The allegations are too serious.
It seems that way to. I understand, but you say he tried rap. No. He didn't try rap. He started a phenomenon that went around the world. Put that on is being said by random people now. It's like it seems bleak to the I don't no disrespect to your generation, but to us this seems regular, bro. He probably owes somebody some money. I ain't got it. I'm bankrupt and still living the same life he been living. I don't see what you see.
You guys think he's going to be fine financially by just hiding behind
They think he is fine.
the legal veneer. You guys evidently didn't see MTV Cribs and don't know what local real estate costs are on taxes. He will not be able to keep living the same lifestyle with the bubble of protection that bankruptcy affords him.
It's not that. It's not a death sentence, which is what you're kind of making it out to be.
No, it's not a death sentence. He's not going to die.
Well, he will.
But the identity he used to have, that's gone, and it's gone forever.
He killed that himself, though.
Yep.